Okay, we are recording. Welcome to Monday Night Meeting. Just not a problem at all. I know some of y'all are tucking in kiddos, and I love that you guys fit this in to the nooks and crannies. Tonight, we are jumping right in with the one and only Jennifer Cobb. I know that if y'all follow her on Instagram and in that space, you're inspired by her every day. I get the chance to be in 7,356 group chats and messages with her every day because we've gotten to be on some marketing committees. And I've always admired her from afar, but now getting to know her and her personality and be inspired by her every day is an absolute gift. She has an incredible heart for other people. I mean, her team is exploding with diamonds and new emeralds, and it's the most fun thing to watch them coming into the space because they're a newer team in Plexus. And so I'm going to hand it over to you so you can tell a little bit about your story and then just give us all the tips because we are soaking it all up.
You got it. Thanks, Brianne. First of all, I want to say you guys are seriously, I think 99.9% of Plexus would agree with me that you guys are the luckiest team having Brianne as your leader, because she is insanely inspiring, as you know, and I am learning so much from Brianne and just her creativity and her brain. I pick it every day. And so I just am honored to be here. So it is a mutual love and respect between Brie and I. So I'm just glad to be here. So thanks for having me. Okay, so my name is Jennifer Cobb. I am going to give you guys my Instagram handle. This is not a shameless plug to go and find me and follow me. I promise it's not, but it'll be just a good way for you to kind of, after this training, for you to get to know me a little bit more and just to get ideas. It's at J Cobb Home. So my name is Jennifer Cobb and it's at J Cobb Home. And so real quick, Plexus background story for me is, because I know people always like to know the journey, right? I started Plexus in August of 2018 is when I started my business, and moved pretty quickly. Kind of was like doing rank month after month after month. It was just a crazy time. I was born into a sapphire and a diamond rank up in my upline. And so that's really all I knew, was just go and hit the rank and have fun along the way. And so that's what I have done. And so I hit diamond in April of 2020. So I hit emeralds in October of 2019. And then I was sapphire January of 2020. And then a couple months later in April, I was diamond. So that's my journey. And it's been such a fun journey, and I wouldn't do it differently, but do know everybody moves at their own pace. So never compare your pace to somebody else's pace. You know, it's got to be within your time and just your circumstances, right? So that's my Plexus background. So now I want to give you real quick my Instagram background because comparison, I know, is a thing. It exists, right? We do it all the time. And so I have done a bunch of Instagram trainings, and even before Plexus, I've done some Instagram trainings. And you do sometimes hear people say like, well, my account is never going to look like that, or my page is never going to look like that. And that's okay, because your page doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to talk about that during this training. But I started my home decor account, J Cobb Home, years before Plexus. I think it was like end of 2016, I want to say. I started just because I love home decor and I love decorating. And so I was like, I want to start an account. So I did. And so that's how that's how my journey got started, because my upline, I don't know if you guys know or follow Marianne at this Loud House. She is my direct upline, and she is a diamond. She's a double diamond, actually. She's a diamond and her husband is a diamond. It's pretty cool. They ranked on the same day. And so that's how I found out about Plexus, because Marianne was sharing about the pink drink. And then one day she started sharing about how she was making a 6-figure income. And I was like, that's it. I need to do this. I need this in my life. So with that being said, I want you guys, if you can, it's not a big deal if you cannot, if you can have your phone, like I don't know if you're on your computer or if you have another way to access Instagram, just to have it open while we're having this conversation, because there will be a couple of things. I was going to screen share, but my slides are not appropriate for this screen. In other words, they're like up and down, they're not swiping. So I just didn't want to be confusing anybody with swiping up and down, scrolling up and down anyway. So I might be showing my phone a little bit. So I just want to see if you guys could have your Instagram open, so then when I'm explaining certain things, you might be able to go to your page and kind of try it out at the same time. So kind of a little bit hands-on there. So okay, so the first thing I want to talk about with Instagram is Instagram and Facebook are two totally different platforms. Okay. So full disclosure, if probably I would say 99% of you are better at Facebook than I am. I am not a Facebook person. But do I post on Facebook? I do. In your settings on Instagram, I think you could do it on Facebook too. Bree might be able to confirm. You can post at the same time to both platforms. So when I post on Facebook, I'll be honest, I'm giving it zero effort because I am posting from Instagram and my same post is going to Facebook. So it's not like it's zero effort. It's just that I'm not going into Facebook and posting. So if Instagram, seems like it's doing double the work, it doesn't have to be, because you can post at the same time on both platforms. So what I love about Instagram, and we're going to get into this, is that with the stories and the posts for Instagram, they are two totally different audiences. And I have talked to people, I know there's stories on Facebook, but they're not as big as stories are on Instagram. And so you might be getting more of a similar audience on Facebook with your stories and your feed post than you would on Instagram. Okay. So that's what I love about Instagram, is you are going to get two different audiences. Okay. So you're going to hear me reference stories a lot, and kind of how we are going to, we're going to kind of try to tap into both, right? Because we all have time, but our time is super valuable, right? So I want everyone to be able to come off of this call feeling like, okay, this isn't going to be a huge time suck or a huge waste of time. I'm going to make the best of my time spent on Instagram. Okay, so if you guys do follow me, I mean, Brianne does them, follow people on Instagram that are Plexus people. Why? Because it will give you examples for posts. I like to do, when I do posts on Instagram, I like to engage in my caption, in my comments, sorry. So in my caption, I want something to be engaging, that they have to reply in my comments. Okay. So I had an example of a post that I did. I'll just kind of give you the gist of it, but it was one I was talking about. I was looking for, I'm reading it, 10 people who are willing to commit to try these Plexus products at my cost for the next 90 days. Okay. And then I listed out 13 things, like you have a sweet tooth, you're experiencing digestive distress, blah, 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 right? And then I said, how many of these can you relate to? Write your number in the comments, okay? So basically, people want to feel engaged, right? So by asking a question in your caption, you are gonna have more comments, because people want to give their opinion, right? Are we all women on here? I'm assuming we're all women. I'm not scrolling. Women want to give their opinion, whether asked or not, right? We love to give our opinion, right? So we're going to respond and be like, oh gosh, I'm numbers 1, 3, 6, and 12, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So now you're like, okay, well, great. They've commented in the comments, who cares? No, that is a huge part of your engagement. By getting likes, by the way, on Instagram mean nothing. They mean nothing. So I think a lot of us are going to be really happy to hear that, right? Likes mean nothing on Instagram. They don't boost you. They don't make you seen more. They don't determine your worth, your value, the greatness of your post, none of it, because they don't mean anything, because Instagram knows that you can buy likes. Yes, you can buy likes. I've never done it. I never will. But you can buy likes. And so Instagram caught on to that. So guess what? They don't reward people for having a lot of likes. So what you want is comments. So even if you get 10 likes, if you have 10 comments, you're doing good. Like really, really, really good. So that's one of the most important things about Instagram right there. You want comments in any way, shape, or form. You want people to comment typically 4 or more words. That's really hard to control, but 4 or more words, you want people to comment. You also want them to save your post. So sometimes you can say, oh, like, comment, and save my post. Here's how you save the post. Do you guys see the flag right there under promote? Does everybody see that? That's how you save a post on Instagram. Okay, so you just press that button and it is saved. You can save them into folders. You can actually hold down. You see how I held it down? And I have files. And you can save them into files. I have Plexus posts, kitchen, shopping, living room, right? So that's what you do. You can create new folders. So you want to save your posts and you really want 4 or more words. So what can you start doing right off the bat? Since we can't control people, right? You can start doing that within your team. You guys can start a little team chat where you are making posts and you can go in there and be like, okay, I posted, or send your post. We're going to talk about how to send your post too. Send your post to a chat and say, okay, everybody go like, save, comment. Okay. So they're going to like it, which I said, it doesn't really help, but you want them to like it. It's good to have some likes. So you want them to like it. You want them to save it. And then you're going to want them to send it. Okay. Under view insights, do you guys see, I call it a paper airplane. Do you guys see the paper airplane under there? You press that button. Here's what I want you to promise yourself right now. Anytime you put a post up, anytime you press that paper airplane, and you then, it takes you to this screen, the top, very top, add post to your story. You are going to click add post to your story. Okay. And then I'm going to click that. And now look, I'm already in my stories. Does everybody see that? Now I'm in my stories. Okay, so why would I do that? First of all, I don't show the picture. I put like a GIF over it that says like new post, or you're not going to believe what I did today, and cover up that photo somehow, because you want your story viewers to go to your posts, and you want your post viewers to go to your story. Do you guys see how that works? It's called cross posting. So because we have 2 different audiences, remember. So the more we can engage with people on our post, and then get those people to start watching our stories. And then what happens is we are now getting more views. We're getting more views in our posts, and we're getting more views in our stories. This is just part of the algorithm, right? No one really knows the real algorithm. I promise you guys, save yourself money. Don't take Instagram courses from people. Don't pay anybody money, because they're just saying stuff they don't really know the answer to. I'm just speaking facts right now, right? Because I know there are 2 different audiences, and you want to get your posts to your stories and vice versa, but save yourself the money, because no one is an expert on Instagram. I can tell you that with 100% certainty. No one knows all the things. The only people that know it are the creators of Instagram. Okay. And they change it all the time to mess with us, because they know we catch on, and then they're like, oh, we're going to change it. We're going to change it. We're going to change it. And that's what they do. Okay. But we do know these things that I said, that I just mentioned. So like, saving, and commenting, sending to your stories, all those things are true good things. Okay. So we talked about that. Okay. Polls on stories. It's very similar to Facebook. You guys, tell me in the chats if you've used polls before. Put a 1 in the chat if you have used polls before. You see how I'm trying to get you to put stuff in the chat? It's the same thing when you post. Same thing when you post, right? I'm like trying to get you engaged, trying to get the blood flowing, right? I'm like, okay, they're gonna answer. Look at all the ones. Okay, so everybody has done polls before. Same thing for Instagram. So this is really good. It's not hard. It's just as fun. So you might want to put up a poll, you want to put up a poll that has no negative in it, right? So you never want to have like a yes or no, right? So you can maybe asking about, do you want to know more about the triplex? I would never put a poll like that, but you don't want to put like yes or no. You want to put like I want to know more. Yes, please. Right? You want to put a double positive because you want them to click the polls. Right? So I know it sounds funny and it sounds tricky and all the things, but they're used to seeing that. Right? So then when they click the polls, what are we going to do? We're going to respond as fast as we can because we know they're there, right? They're on Instagram. They're probably still going through other people's stories. So we want to reply as fast as we can. Now, does life happen? Do we have jobs? Do we have kids? Do we have sports? Do we have school drop-offs and pickups? Yes, right? But you want to get to as close as you possibly can to the time that they vote on your poll to respond to them. Okay, so here is an example of maybe something that you would reply. Hey, Sarah, thanks so much for voting in my poll and my stories today. I'd love to share with you more about the supplements I'm using. Do you have some specific health goals right now? Right? What stood out to you? Just ask an open-ended question because now we're in our DMs and now we are talking, and now is where we get to know each other, and that's where the conversation starts, right? So you want to make sure you reply right away. The other good thing about replying right away is your stories are still up. So if you reply 24 hours later, your stories are gone, right? They only last for 24 hours. So you don't want them going, what did I vote? I have no idea what is this woman talking about? I don't know what I voted on, right? So you want to do it pretty close to as close as you possibly can. Okay. So that is super exciting and important. Okay. So now what are you going to do on Instagram? Are we just going to put up like in our stories? We're just not going to put up Plexus stuff, right? Just like on Facebook. I'm sure you guys know a lot of this already, but it is really important on Instagram. Instagram is typically known, this is kind of a silly way to say it, but it's kind of known more so where you are engaging with strangers. Does anybody else feel like that about Instagram? It's more like stranger oriented, and Facebook is more like your family and friends. Instagram is going to be a little bit more where you're going to have people that don't know you. So what do we have to do to make up for that? We have to be ourselves. Okay. So you have to be you. And how are they going to get to know us? If we're just constantly putting up we have some really pretty photos, right? We could put up photos all day long that are super pretty. But if they don't know us and they don't know our face and they don't know our voice, like we have no connection. We have no connection. I didn't join with Marianne Anderson because of the post that she put up in a poll, right? I joined because I trusted her. I didn't know her from Adam, but I trusted her because I had been watching her stories for six months. I'd been watching her stories pretty much every day. Because what happens when you watch somebody's stories? They come to the front. They become one of your first bubbles, right? So she was one of my first bubbles every single day, and I was watching and watching and watching, and I was so intrigued by her. Now, was she posting Plexus? Yes, every day she had something Plexus. But she also talked about doing her laundry and taking care of 5 kids and homeschooling. And decorating her house, right? She has a home decor account like me. And so I trusted her. I was attracted to what she was sharing. And so I reached out to her. I DM'd her. I didn't even go to a poll or anything. I just messaged her directly and said, I need this. I need to start. I need to make $1,000 my first month. That's what I told her. That's how I started. I started for the business. P.S. So that's really important. Just be you, show your face, show yourself. Okay, so I made sure I saved some drink. It was really hard not to finish this today. But okay, so maybe after I get off of this training, I will probably take a picture of my computer and my magical unicorn drink sitting here. And I'll be like Zoom time, work time, something like that, right? I'm not technically doing a post or a story like with Plexus spilt all over it, right? But what's in my story? My magical unicorn drink, not just my pink drink, is in my story, right? So my followers know that like when I'm sitting on the soccer field, and it's freezing on a random morning and I have a picture of my pink drink and like a boomerang or something, right? Because they're getting to know me. They're seeing that like this is a part of her life. Like she can't be making this up. She's actually drinking this thing. She actually seems to like this thing, So So that's really important, is to be you and to show about Plexus as much as you can, but not necessarily just on an image that was created by somebody else, right? We could do those, but then we have to be really smart about how much we do those and how often that we do those. So what's another thing you can do in your stories? What's fun that we can do in our stories? We can make our pink drink, right? We can throw on some music and like just be standing there, pouring the powder into your water bottle, putting the water in there, shaking it up and drinking it. It could be 2 or 3 slides, right? But again, that shows what we are doing. We are being authentically us. And you know what? That's really refreshing, because you don't have to be an influencer to know that influencers, most of them don't typically use the products that they are trying to influence you with. Right. So no matter who is following you on Instagram, they're probably following influencers. So they are used to seeing people sell products or share products, right? So this isn't weird. That's the other thing about Instagram. Instagram is a platform where 85% of the time people are selling something, right? And so we just always have to remember that this is normal. This is normal. This is the space to do that. This is social selling, and it works wonderfully on Instagram. Whether you have 50 followers or 50,000 followers, it works. But this is our platform. This is our store. This is our storefront. So we got to stay open, and we have to just constantly be putting stuff up that is going to be about Plexus, not about Plexus, all the things. But we are going to actually be selling something and sharing something that we use every single day. So, the strangers are going to be like, oh, like, gosh, I mean, Tara Spencer, she is posting this pink drink like every single day. Like, what is she doing? Right? Like, I guess she likes it. I don't know. What is the pink drink? I don't even know what the pink drink is, right? Because there's some curiosity being created too. So what's going to happen is that person's probably going to one day message Tara, or Tara's going to put up a poll, and that person's finally going to click the button, and boom, there you go. Relationship built. And now what's going to happen, right? Hopefully that person's going to join, and you're going to change another life. So that's pretty amazing. So Plexus is your storefront. Plexus is our storefront, but Instagram is your storefront. So just know that when you go there, be more comfortable doing that, because Facebook, maybe it doesn't feel as comfortable, right? So we are going to, by sharing this pink drink, I want you guys to remember this word, because it's really, really, really important. It's a word everybody knows. Probably don't say it too often. Normalize. We are going to normalize the pink drink. We are going to normalize sharing Plexus on social media, because we have done it. Like Brianne was saying, my team is pretty young still, right? We're like from beginning to now, we are a 2.5-year-old team. Most of my jewels started within a year, from like a year ago. And the thing is, because we just normalized the pink drink, we just normalized it on Instagram. So here's the good news. The good news is the way has been paved. The way is being paved. And so people are just feeling more comfortable getting on Instagram and just sharing it. People are seeing this pink drink everywhere, and they want it. We all know what happens when somebody tries the pink drink, right? They're hooked for life. So we just have to get them to trust us and to try it. And so that's the hard part. When they start taking it, that's the easy part, right? Because we all know, I mean, who can live without a day without the pink drink? And not me. So that is pretty much, that is the gist of it. So, so just to recap, because I always sometimes like I do these trainings, and then I'm like, at the end, I'm like, what? I don't even know what just happened. But get on Instagram. That's number one. If you're not on it, get on it, right? If you have a private account, make it public. I don't think we talked about that at the beginning. We did not. Make it public. Although, I'm going to be honest with you, I have somebody who just went Emerald that with a private account with like 245 followers. So that's the other good news. The other good news is you don't have to have a big following to be a jewel, right? Or to be gold or senior gold or ruby or senior ruby, whatever your goal is, you do not have to have a big following. but make your account public. And if you're not comfortable making your personal account public, make a new account. Make a new account. And we didn't talk about our bio. There's so much to talk about on Instagram. Oh my gosh, I could talk all day on Instagram. I could talk all day anyway. Brianne will tell you. But in your bio, you want your bio. It is, I don't know if anybody's done speed dating. I've never done speed dating. I've never done any of that stuff, right? But it's gotta be quick. You want them to get to know you and fall in love with you in the first 10 seconds of them looking at your bio. So how are you going to write your bio? First, I would go and look at other people's bios first. It's like, I'm not saying cheat on a test, but kind of cheat on a test. Go and look at other people's bios and see what you like. And then I want you to go to your best friend. Who's your best friend? Your best friend is the one who's going to tell you that you have food in between your teeth. That's your best friend. You're going to go to your best friend and you're going to say, best friend, what, if you were to describe me, what would you describe me as? Or how would you describe me? Or what do you think I'm good at? Like, what do you think I'm good at? How could I provide value to people on Instagram? And your best friend's going to be like, well, you make amazing food. Like, I love eating at your house. You're like an amazing cook, right? So maybe you should start Instagram just with some recipes, right? It doesn't have to be fabulous. You don't have to be, Chef Ludo. I don't know if you guys don't follow him. I love him. You don't have to be him, but you just have to have a passion for food. And maybe you like to cook. You would not want to follow me if I was talking about cooking. You'd be like, this girl's horrible. She should stick to her husband cooking, right? So that's not my strength. So I'm not going to run with that, right? My best friend is going to tell me with the food in between my teeth is going to say, no, Jen, do not talk about cooking. It's not your thing. You can make pink drinks, but you cannot make food. So you're going to find that friend. She's going to tell you what you're really good at, and you are going to help. You're going to ask that friend for help on your bio. Okay. So I know it's really hard to train on a bio because everybody's is going to look different, but just know that you want real critical feedback on your bio. Okay. So that's super important. And you want to make your page public. However you feel comfortable, you want to make your page public. Last thing on the looks of the page. You don't want your page to be plexus, the feed to be plexus, like testimony. No, right? You don't want somebody to open up your Instagram and go, oh, she sells plexus. No, it's not that we're trying to keep it a secret. That's not it. But what happens is when we are that much of an open book, I'm guessing this goes for Facebook too, then there leaves nothing to be desired. There leaves nothing to have a conversation about. There leaves no personal back and forth because I don't need to talk to you. I'm going to go look at your page and find out everything I need to know about plexus. So that is why you want your page to be you. Capital Y-O-U. You want your page to be completely about you and your family and your passion and what you love. That's what you want your page to be about. And then when you're kind of posting about, post a testimony or post plexus, leave it up for a day or two and then archive it. You don't need to keep it on your page. You could take it off of your page and then move on. It's not bad to archive something, but you don't want to delete your posts. Something about the algorithm, who knows if it's true or not, but archive, but don't delete. Okay. So those are some action items to do. Even if you have an Instagram page, go back and look at your bio, go back and look at your feed. Also go to your best friend, the one that we talked about before with the food between the teeth, go to her and say, what do you think about my feed? Like, how does my feed look? Like, what should I change? She might be like, maybe you could start over, and you can start over. You can archive anything you want, and you can start to put in other things. You can put in quotes, sayings. I'm trying to think of who does that really well. Emily Roberts does that pretty well. She's got some quotes on her page. So look at somebody who's closer to you for inspiration, like your likes. If you don't have a home decor account, you're not going to get really good ideas from my feed, right? Because you're going to be like, well, I'm not really interested in that. So, you got to go to somebody who's going to inspire you. Okay. So sorry, you guys, I am going so far here, but okay. So what are we going to do? Just going to sum it up here because Brianne, I don't know if we have time, but I'm fine with doing questions after I sum up here real quick. You just let me know in the chat. But you want to be you want to be authentic, you want to be open, you want to be friendly, right? You want to post to your feed as often as you can. Every day, I know it's hard, but as often as you can. And you never just want to post to your feed, you want to share to your stories. So we're going to use that paper airplane, right? And we're going to share to our stories. You guys are going to love on each other by liking your Instagram posts, by saving them, and by commenting with 4 or more words. That could be super simple. Like, this chair is really pretty. Just as long as it is something pertaining to the post, and it is just going to help to get you seen a little bit more and just help to really build your account. You're gonna make new friends. You just are. Like I said, Instagram's a little bit more of a stranger area. So you're going to make new friends, which is going to be really, really, really fun. When somebody replies on your post and replies to like a story poll, you're gonna respond. You're not gonna, I call it post and ghosting. You're not gonna post and ghost. You're not gonna like post to your stories or post to your feed and then like be a ghost and literally go away. You are going to stay. Okay. You're going to not post and pray. You're not going to post and ghost. You're going to post and stay. And that's where you're going to start to really engage with people in the comments section of your post. And you're going to engage with people in your stories too. So when they are doing sometimes a little swipe bar or they're doing a poll, you want to be talking to them while they are there. While you have an active audience is when you want to be talking to them. So, I mean, you want to be sharing plexus all the time, but share it in a way where sometimes it's just there. Sometimes you could take a picture of hanging out with your kids or your grandkids or whatever it is, and you're just somehow the pink drink is in the photo. Like, that is noticed, believe it or not. That is totally noticed. People are going to be like, there's that pink drink again. Nicole's got that pink drink sitting there again. Like, does she ever not have that drink? She must really like that drink. Okay, I think I'm going to ask Nicole about the drink, right? People will convince themselves because they're going to see it and they kind of just become curious, but they're not going to be able to go to your page and see it everywhere because it's not going to be blasted on your page, right? So they're not going to have all the answers. They're going to want to go to you and talk to you and converse with you to get those answers. So I just want you guys to have fun with it. Just have fun, just like you do with Facebook. Like I said, I am not an expert. I could use all the training in the world on Facebook, but it's not my lane. Like Instagram is my lane, and I do post to Facebook, but it's not an extra step for me. And so you can do the same with Instagram. If Instagram's not your lane, just start doing some stuff there. Just try, dabble, and you'll love it. You'll grow. And like I said, Instagram is just more of a storefront and you will feel more comfortable, I think, social selling on Instagram because it's just a little bit more natural. But don't be scared of it. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's. Work with your team, work with your sideline sisters on helping each other to grow and to clean up your page and to maybe tweak your bio. These are things that can be super fun and not intimidating, but I mean, the pink drink is all over Instagram in a really good way, not in an oversaturated way, but in a way where people see it and they're curious and they want to know more. So that's really all I got. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, you can ask them. I am happy to answer them. Sorry, it's 9:35. I knew I wouldn't make it under.
Good. I am completely soaking this up. I know that one of the things, if you have a second for this,
Yeah.
people always ask, Wendy already asked, how do you determine hashtags?
Mm-hmm.
And do you feel like clearly you're home decor? And if anybody follows you, they know that you're a soccer mom, like they know about you. So do you have people when you do trainings for your team, like do you encourage them to do, when you say stick to their lane, like pick 2 or 3 passions and just post to that on their page?
Yes, I would, because I think that's going to make you seem more authentic when it is something. I mean, you can have a lot of passions, but what happens is you're fighting with different audiences. If you have too many things on your page, you're It's hard to explain. Okay, so if somebody has a bunch of little new babies, right? Say they have 5 kids under the age of 5. They're pretty much just attracting young moms for the most part, right? But then if that person also is a cook and they are an author and they love working out, right? You're now like getting all these different, you would think that's better, right? Because you're attracting more audience. But what's happening is your page can become really confused. And so the mom with the young babies might not be into cooking at all. So you might lose that mom. So I say, okay, so Ash Murray says fitness, boy, mom, health, wellness. That's perfect. That's perfect because it's not, I mean, you're a boy mom. You can't change that, right? I'm a boy mom too. Can't change that. But the fitness and health wellness all goes together. They don't have to necessarily go together. That just happens to go together, but you're not fighting with different audiences. Does that make sense? So like I'm home decor. So people are following me for the most part for home decor, but they know I talk about health and wellness. And how do I get them to know more about me? They just see that I am a soccer mom. So I do attract a lot of soccer moms, but for the most part, I have home decor people, but just because somebody's home decor doesn't mean they don't like health and wellness. So I'm not fighting with audiences. Does that answer your question, Bree?
Yeah, for sure. And then how do
Okay.
you do hashtags? Because I know that that's a big, big area for people
Yeah.
to grow.
Exactly. That's a huge area. Okay. So hashtags are not, they're really not super complicated and no one has cracked the code on them either. But I do know a couple of important things. Number one, you don't want ever your hashtags to not match your photo. So if I'm doing a home decor photo, I am not going to put anything about gut health in my hashtags. Right. So if I'm doing I think my last post was a console table from World Market. So all of my hashtags are related in some way to that console table. It's like console table styling, it's World Market. So I did like Discover World Market. I think I did Target finds. I'm looking at the table. Anything that related to that spring refresh, spring reset, right? So I'm not going to talk about gut health in my hashtags. Now, when you are picking a hashtag, you don't want it to have too little likes, or too much. So you want it to be under 1 million. And when you are typing in a hashtag, it's hard for me to show you, but if you go right now to Instagram and you went, it's just too hard. Unless I guess I could go to comments. No, it's not going to come up in comments. When you are typing your caption in Instagram, it will come up how many hits that hashtag has, right? You don't want anything that's over 1 million. So for instance, if it was Christmas, I would never do hashtag Christmas. I don't know how many hits it has, but it's got to be like in the millions, right? So maybe I would do like Christmas 2020, or you just got to keep typing until you find one. I think a sweet spot for me anyway is I would say 50,000 up until like 900,000 would be like a place where you want to stay with your hashtags. So like it's a gut feeling. That's a good one. You'll just know it's good by how many hits it has. So you just don't want it. Yeah, under 1 million. If you go over 1 million, what it means is your chances of being seen over 1 million are super small. So you might as well not even put that hashtag. And then if you find a hashtag that's like 50, who's going to see that? Like, what are the chances that those 50 people are going to go and find your post, right? So that's why I like the 100,000 or 50,000 range and up. So those are some really good. You have made ones that I have ones that I've made for the kids. Absolutely. Yes, Ash. That is, sometimes there are good times to do that. And that's totally fine because you're not doing that to get people to go to that hashtag. You just want it. And we do that with Plexus too. When we picked out that hashtag for one of our launches, we did like hashtag all eyes on Plexus. And we picked that because it didn't have any hits. We wanted it to be our hashtag. So that's totally okay. Okay, so Brian, that's a hilarious question because there are literally two sides of thoughts to that. People will say, absolutely don't put it in your caption, and people will say, absolutely don't put it in your comments. So there's no answer to that. I do both. It's funny. Sometimes I'll forget, like I'll post my caption. I'm like, oh, I forget. I guess it's going in my comments. I don't think it's a problem either way. Some people don't want it in their caption because they don't want their caption to look that way. They want it to look prettier. So they'll just do their caption and then just put it in the first comment. I think you're fine doing that either way. Hashtag and stories too. It does actually have really good questions. It does help. It does help. If you do hashtag in stories, I think you can do up to, I think it's 20. I've never done 20. I've done 10 before, but I hide mine. This can get complicated. I'm going to see if there's a way I could show you how to hide. Does anybody know how to change like your color if you're in a story? I'm going to show you this real quick. I'm going to type something. Hello. You can change your color of your writing. So I clicked on color. Wait, I'll go back and show you this. Okay. So if I want to write something, I'm going to click the A, right? And then this is the color circle. Did you guys see the color circle? You probably missed it. It's the wheel with the color circle. In this corner, do you guys see it's like a, where am I going to go here? Here I am. Right there. This one right here. Can you guys see that? Shoot, you can't see it. It looks like a dropper, you know, like a medicine dropper. So it looks like, so if you click on that and then you move that anywhere throughout, it turns to the color of the screen. Do not mind my nails. They're getting done next week. It gets turned to the color of the screen so they can be hidden. So now if I type, I'm in black. You can't see it. I typed something. Over the hello is a word. You can't even see it. So I only will post hashtags if I hide them in my stories, just because it takes away from whatever you're posting. So anyway, that's a fun thing to do. I can probably screen record that. My nose is itchy, sorry. I can probably screen record that if somebody, I can send it to Brienne and she can send it to you guys because it's a really good tip and I do it a lot. Like every couple of days I'm doing it at least. So the color dropper, what did I call it? A medicine dropper. See, I'm not an expert. Yeah, you can tag people. Tagging people in your story is good too. You can also color drop the people that you are tagging too. So people don't even have to see who you're tagging, which is really cool. Yes, words. I've never posted a story where my words don't match the coloring in my photo ever. And it's fun because when you even press the button to put your words into a box, it even changes like the box color. So it's just fun. It just makes it's aesthetically pleasing. The one thing about Instagram is people like it because it's pretty, you know, you don't have to have it pretty, but it's fun. It's fun when it's pretty. How long should a caption be? There is no rules to that at all. You will run out of space. Some people will run out of space and then go into the comments, but I don't ever recommend that. I hardly ever go to the comments to read the rest of somebody's caption because then you're like scrolling, you know? So I wouldn't go longer than allowed because I just think you're going to lose people. Which could be a problem with some testimonies. There's a lot of testimonies that go really, really, really long. So I just don't use those for Instagram. So, but testimonies, share to your stories. If you're going to post a testimony, share. I do 2 testimonies a week on my feed. And if they're doing good, I leave them up. I still have one up that I still get comments on. So I haven't taken it down yet. I'll take it down soon, and then I send it to my stories and then I'll sometimes put in like the gifts, like the before and after. It'll say like before, or sometimes I'll just put the after because then they want to go to click on your post to see what's the after look like. You can have fun with it. They're going to be curious. Everybody wants to see a before and after. So yeah, I think I got everybody's. These are really good questions. You guys are on the ball here for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are
You are
amazing. And I know I
welcome.
say this every single time. We've had a couple of people that have jumped on and done trainings, and it's just the heart of Plexus, right? That we do this for each other, not on the same teams, not even close to being on the same teams, but
Great.
I absolutely love this, and I soaked every second. My team knows I'm always like, keep me accountable because I'm not in the Instagram space. I have 98% grown on Facebook. Like I
Crazy.
don't know, everything. Like you take you, and I'm the exact opposite on Facebook, and I
Yeah.
love that.
But
But
you're killing it on Instagram. You're doing so well. Like you really are. I tell her all the time, I'm like, your reels are so good. Reels are really, really, really good right now. They are bringing you to the forefront of algorithms. Wait, I just want to answer one more question, Brie, and then we can. I don't like any questions left unanswered. Okay, highlights are whatever you want them to be. Whatever you want them to be, I would have highlights. And I would color code them. Like my highlights are all color coded. Do you guys see? Oh my gosh. See? Those are the colors of my feed. So you just find a blank color. You can go down to Word Swag, take a screenshot of colors that you like, and then just put that into your highlights, and then underneath just put the title, because some people squeeze words into their highlights and it's really hard to see. It's really hard to see, or they put really cute little images in there, but the circle is just too small. So I would just do color. I don't know if that if that was what you were asking, but I love put a highlight of I haven't even done it yet. So hello, preaching to the choir. Put a highlight of your testimony, like your own testimony. Anything that you want to refer people to, that you've done that you think is really good on your stories or anything like that, save it in a highlight, then you can refer people to it. That just reminded me, I really need to do that because I have one saved. I could put it in there like tonight. So yeah, that is it. I'm so excited for you guys. Let me know. Come say hi on Instagram if you guys are doing something that you found. Yes, that's perfect, Ash. I would do that. Put all that in there. Anything that provides value. If you are providing value to your followers, you are winning. No matter what kind of value it is. I provide value to my followers by showing that I can do this business and I can be like a crazy sports mom and I can still do things that I love, which is decorating my house. Like that's providing value to people. You may not think it and I may not think it, but other people think it. And so that's valuable to them. So yes, go find your best friend. Go find your best friend that's going to tell you about the food in between your teeth. That's the person you want to talk to about, kind of refreshing your page a little bit. And just remember, it's not going to ever be perfect, and that's okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it public though, if you can. Public helps for sure.
So good. Thank you. Team, if you would go to our April accountability thread, because I want to be able to screenshot these over to Jen afterwards. I want you to drop your top takeaway and one thing that you are going to implement in the next 48 hours and drop that in our April accountability so I can screenshot it over to her. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I know that I will talk to you in our 7,000
5 seconds.
but
Love you
I
too. Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
so much. And I know that they will have amazing takeaways from this.
Yay. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
Bye.